Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and we're going to look at game number 5 in our 20 from the 1970s series. And this game was kind of a follow-up of PONG by Atari, but this changed the objective to bouncing the ball to break blocks, and this is called Breakout. And this is a much copied game, mostly copied later on than the 70s. ARKANOID was one of the biggest examples of copying Breakout. Very successful game. It was created in 1976 by Atari. And you simply bounce a ball off your paddle, and there are bricks at the top of the screen. And you want to try to break them all, and it's a really, really difficult objective. I played this through dice as well. I'm just going to show you footage of me playing at normal speed. There's an overlay to make the bricks look colored. The game is really black and white, but it just has the color overlay. The higher up you get to the different colored blocks, the more points they are. And you get 3 chances to keep from getting the ball, letting the ball get past you. You can actually lose half of your paddle by going through the blue areas on the bottom left and bottom right. I mean, just part of your paddle will stick out. But as the game goes on, the ball will start to bounce a little faster. And if you break through the layers of bricks and reach the top, your paddle will get smaller, even smaller than it is now. I was never good at this game. Any ball and paddle game, I just got nervous, and I could just not hold still, and I could not follow the ball very well. But I was able to get much farther with that's game over already. Was able to get much farther by using the FRAPS software and going full screen. Everything slowed down quite a bit, and you'll see. And it made the game so much easier. Look how slow it is. That's what happens when I put FRAPS to record full screen. It made the game so much slower and so much easier. I still didn't beat the game in this setting, simply because the ball does speed up a bit, and especially I think once you either reach the orange or the red, it really starts to speed up. So at normal speed, I definitely wouldn't last very long. Mostly because I'm just not very good at it. But yeah, this was a huge, huge success. The biggest success of 1976, I'd say. And there were a number of good games that came out in 1976 and generally started to turn the tide a little bit in terms of kind of nudging pinball machines out of the arcades. Whoops. Not very good even at slow speed, but I got much better, I think, from this point on. But again, if you put your paddle through the blue edges, and they're blue because that whole row there is got a blue overlay over it. Even the ball will look a little bit blue as it passes through there. But yeah, some of the really good games of 1976 included the Sprint. I think it was called Sprint 2 was the first Sprint game. There was also, I think, a Drag Race. Some other really good games of 1976, but I think that was the year that video games really started to try to push pinball machines out of the arcades. I mean, it wouldn't happen until somewhere in the 80s, I think, but it was really a sign that video games were starting to take over. And you can still see pinball machines in some arcades, but their numbers are remarkably few. Yeah, I did much better at this point on, I think. Or maybe this, I think maybe I played 2 games of the really slow Breakout. I just wanted to show you what it looks like to get farther in this game. If you break all of the bricks, I'm not entirely sure what happens. I think you do get a new set of bricks after a short interval. If I can ever get really good at the slow version of Breakout, well, I mean, Breakout did not have a slow version, but with FRAPS at full screen, it went really slow. But yeah, I think you just get new bricks if you break all of the bricks. And yeah, once you break through all the bricks and get to the top of the screen, then your paddle will get squished to half size of what it is now, which is already small. Oops. Yeah, that was just the first game. You saw that getting the orange block made the ball speed up big time. I like how in the attract mode, after your game is over, the ball just bounces around. It can't break through the bricks, but it ricochets off them. Just bounces around. Can't go through the floor now. They've got a barrier. But yeah, just extended length of a gameplay can make the ball move faster too. And again, you can't see all of your paddle if you're hugging the left or right walls by the blue edges, which again is part of the overlay. And yeah, this game was black and white, but it just had the color overlays. Yeah, there's point values for the bricks. The yellow ones are just 1 point. I think the green are 2. And the orange are probably 3, and red probably 4. Yeah, I'm sorry this is painfully slow, but I wanted you to see what it looked like to get fairly close to getting all the bricks. Maybe not quite fairly close, but I got most of them. I at least managed to break through to the top, and of course the ball bounces off the bricks from above until it finds an opening and then comes back down towards you. The game is fairly forgiving in terms of hitting the ball. If the ball's like maybe just a tiny bit past you, and you hit it from the side, it'll count, and you'll bounce it back up. Oh, I think the second set of green ones are 3, worth 3 points. No, both sets are 3. So the yellows are 1, the greens are 3. Maybe the oranges are 5, and the reds are 7. Guess I didn't really bother to pay attention. Yeah, this game was a phenomenal success. It had a very good port for the Atari 2600. The Atari 2600 system would be released the following year, 1977. The Atari 2600 was, yeah, the oranges are 5. But the Atari 2600, a lot of their games had multiple variations. Yeah, the red are 7. And it was very, very impressive. The first pack-in game for the Atari 2600 was Combat, and that was basically a takeoff of Atari's tank games from the arcades. The first one, I think, being in 1974. But Combat had like 112 or so, maybe more, variations of gameplay. It was really impressive. I think Breakout had a bunch of gameplay variations too. Atari 2600 for its time was a phenomenal home system. I still have an Atari 2600 emulator called Stella. Very, very faithful job of recreating the games. I didn't get my Atari 2600 until like 1980 or so. But great system. And again, this is slowed down considerably because it was full screen in FRAPS, which made the game a hell of a lot easier. Just about ready to break through. Oh, god damn it. Oh, last ball. There was a dial to control your paddle moving left and right, and then there was a button to serve the ball. And it's just staying slow because I've been hitting the lesser bricks. And now it's speeding way up. Yeah, if DICE ever makes a save state, then I could probably go back and figure out what it looks like to... there, it's breaking the blocks from above. Yeah, and notice that I had half a paddle there. But if I ever can get save states in DICE, then I could probably see what it looks like to break all the bricks. But that was Breakout by Atari in 1976. And again, a really, really popular game that was copied many times in a later decade. But that's Breakout by Atari in 1976. Fantastic, revolutionary ball and paddle game. And game number 5 in our 20 from 1970s series. Well, this is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching Breakout by Atari in 1976. Game number 5 in our 20 from the 70s series. I'll catch you later with game number 6. See you then, folks. Bye-bye.